What's up guys, Starlink here, and today I wanted to start a new series in what I like to call the Indie Watch. And that's where I take a look at some upcoming indie games that are currently in development, or maybe they've just been out for a while and they happen to pass under your radar. So without further ado, let's check out a game that just recently launched a Kickstarter campaign known as Spleen. And yeah, the game is called Spleen. We're not going to talk about my spleen, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't think anybody would find that interesting, honestly. Spleen is a 2D action RPG and life sim about childhood nostalgia and is currently in development by a studio known as Pamplemousse Games. You play as Joanne, a man in his mid-30s who once had big dreams for his future when he was a child, but things didn't quite turn out the way that he planned in the end. Something that many of us can relate to, I'm sure. While the protagonist himself is depressed with his current state of affairs, the friends around him seem to be the opposite, enjoying life and living each day to its fullest, in fact. As down in the dumps as Joanne may be, everything changes when an interesting cat-like creature named Spleentic? You know, for the sake of this video, we're just gonna call him Scruffles McTwinkie. That sounds pretty good. But anyways, Scruffles shows up and changes his life forever by reawakening his childlike spirit, or something along those lines anyway. This gives him the ability to enter what's called the kid world to fight off the problems and emotions that he deals with in reality as an adult. These problems manifest themselves as the enemies known as Spleen. The Spleen have numerous clans that represent real-world emotions that the main character deals with, like sadness, fear, or pain. You combat these enemies in the kid world to alter the reality of your life as an adult, in the hopes of changing your life for the better. The action RPG segments take place in the kid world, while the life sim elements take place in the real world. So as you're fighting off the Spleen as a child, you're also managing your time with work, friends, and other activities as an adult basically. Like eating and resting to keep your health up, to doing your job and going out with friends, maintaining your social status. When things start taking a turn for the worse as an adult, you jump into the kid world to fight off any negative emotions affecting your mental health. Now this all sounds very much like a Persona game, and that is definitely not a bad thing by any means, considering those games have a strong following of fans. The artwork looks stunning with hand-drawn, watercolor painted backgrounds mixed with 2D animation. This is yet another dev team that's going for that Studio Ghibli approach while also taking some inspiration from various Disney animation films, and it looks beautiful in motion. The kid world is presented to be very bright and colorful, while the adult segments bring up that dark and gritty comic book or visual novel style approach. The music sounds good from the sample they presented on their Kickstarter page, as well as in the trailer itself. Both the art style and music seem to fit the theme of the game well from the look of things so far anyway. The devs claim to be aiming for both a mixture of Persona-like social sim elements along with Kingdom Hearts-like action in a 2D space, and I can definitely see that here. That's one of the reasons Spleen caught my eye in the first place, as I enjoy both Persona and Kingdom Hearts games. Other influences include Final Fantasy IX and Dragon Ball. Now I'm at a neutral stance towards the Dragon Ball universe, but I absolutely love Final Fantasy IX, which happens to be my favorite entry in the franchise by the way, so that's a plus for me. Spleen will be made available first on PC, with console ports being targeted shortly afterwards, and we'll have a post-Kickstarter survey so you can choose which platform you want the game for. Only time will tell how well Spleen fares in its Kickstarter campaign, because as it is right now, it hasn't yet reached its goal, but it all sounds very promising so far and it has me intrigued. I'll be keeping a close eye on this one for sure. So from what was shown off here today, Spleen looks like a really interesting game. I mean, I'm really digging the art style and animation going for it here, as well as some of the music. Some of the couple music clips they have on their Kickstarter page really sounds good. But there's only so much you can say, right? Because the game doesn't technically exist yet. It's still going like not even halfway through its campaign as the making of this video anyways. But it caught my eye. I figured I'd share it with you guys because it looks interesting, and if you're curious of checking it out yourself, I'll leave a link in the description for the Kickstarter page. But as always guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like or a dislike if you didn't. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Reach for the stars, guys.